Hello, welcome to another episode of Despite the Challenges, a show where we showcase people who have, despite their own challenges, they overcome, not only change their own lives, but contribute to many other lives and inspire them. In today's show, I have a guest who, when migrated to United States many years ago, she left a thriving business behind her, a life active with so much going on, and coming in to United States, one of the most free country in the world, and she felt like she lost her freedom. And I can resonate that with her, with my own experiences many years ago. My guest today is Amparo Villa. Let's hear from Amparo. Amparo, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Here I am, telling you my story.
Yes, tell us.
I came to this country 50 years ago with two small kids and a husband who has to work and travel a lot. And I didn't speak English, and still I have broken English. And I didn't have any relative here and any system, support system. And on top of that, I barely know the culture, American culture.
Mm-hmm. So how did you try to adjust to the culture? What did you do?
I tried to be with my family, with my two small kids, and without English, I tried to help them to put them in the best way in college at the end of 15 years. And I forget about me. And I was full-time mother for them. And here I am 50 years after without English and with my kids in college.
Well, that is for a mom, is a tremendous success. And a lot of time across the cultures, we see that as a mother, as a homemaker, our contribution is appreciated or sometimes not enough. But the way women hold the family together and contribute to the success of everyone else around them, their children, spouse, etc. I want to hear a little bit more that before coming to US, you mentioned that you had a thriving business and 26 employees.
Yes, I have my own practice in accounting that I sold the day before I traveled in here. And I became a full-time mother. And it was it was shocking for me that I have to become a full-time mother after I have my own company. I was working since I was 15 years old.
Wow. So from your teenage years, and you developed your dream and built this company.
Yes, I built my company. I have 26 employees. And I did taxes, and I did accounting for small businesses. And here I lost every single thing because the lack of the English and the lack of support system and the lack of any relative here. I have to do it on my own. With a family that my husband work in a corporate full-time and have to travel in a lot.
Okay, so that was a big turning point in your life.
Yes, it was.
And you know, a lot of our viewers can relate to this story as we live in this part of the country, and there are people from every continent in the world, and people from America go to other countries to live and pursue careers, etc., or travel for business. So the cultural assimilation is not something that comes overnight. You know, it's a long time adjusting to that. And I can tell you a little story. I had a fortunate experience to review a manuscript of two professors from New York City. They had written a book after observation of 30 years in City University of New York from the students who have migrated from different parts of the world. And something they noticed in common among all the immigrant students, the analogy that they had used was striped zebra, which means that people are living two cultures parallelly. So once they are trying to adjust to the new host culture, they have the influence of their home culture. So this was a very fascinating book to read, and I learned quite a bit. And I was able to relate to a lot of my own experiences when I came 30 years ago. And it took the time. It took a lot of time to become fully mainstream. In the early years that I myself thought of adjusting so much because I didn't have any support system and I didn't have family around. But then one day you do realize that this is your home now and you'll start learning how to get adjusted, what to do. This is your life now. And I'm sure that you have gone through pretty similar experiences. And so what inspired you to continue raising your children the way you would have? What were those values or belief system that carried you through?
My children is my first inspiration in life, and my parents raised me with awareness to be able to help people in need, and children, and elders, and mothers that we carry on our shoulders the new society. And that inspired me, and this is the reason I became a volunteer in my senior center with elders, teaching them Spanish, and by the hospital and in the Red Cross.
Okay, that's
and
very
they
inspiring.
inspire me in this society.
That's amazing that how our little acts of kindness, you know, how we inspire each other so much. And like you said, that your children, your family is your inspiration. That yes, as mothers, we carry a lot of responsibilities, you know, to raise them as a good citizens and raise them as a confident and successful people. And it comes with a lot of challenges itself. And I'm sure that you had plenty of challenges while raising your children while your husband traveled a lot and you're volunteering and you're using the available resources to you, the language barrier, and adjusting to the culture. So tell me a little bit more about your challenges.
My challenges are when right now after my two kids left for college 2 years ago, I was raising them for 15 years, and I have to go with my broken English to have an interview and no skill at all in internet and many things because I was full-time mother and I forgot about myself. And I am in an associated that they associate broken English with lack of knowledge or lack of intelligence. And that is difficult. Meanwhile, I am doing Spanish, substituting in my town, and it doesn't help me at all with my English, but I did my best to help my kids and put them in a good society that is America, that has a lot of opportunity for them. But right now, here I am with broken English, with a challenge every single time to go in an interview with my broken English, because back then I have the money to study, but I didn't have the time as a mother, because it was myself to push my family.
Okay.
And right now I have the time, but I don't have the money, and I am a little behind the system, the big technology that is growing in giant steps.
So that's really a struggle for many people may face that. Even a lot of affluent families that I have come to know, when we're raising kids as mothers, staying home, stay home mom, and our focus is towards our children. Let husbands go out and do what they do best, and earn and support the family, and we forget about ourselves. So, and then as the birds fly away from the nest, and we find ourselves in a situation now, like you said, you're far behind from the technology. You haven't kept the pace with changing technology, and you didn't focus at yourself as much. And that, I'm sure a lot of our viewers would resonate with those stories that they may have gone through themselves. But something that I would like to bring it up is that doesn't change who you are as a person.
No.
You have the value systems, you have the values, but you're proud of yourself and you're frustrated at the same time.
Yes.
Right. So you have done the best you could.
Yes.
And same time, you feel like I'm disappointed because I lost a lot of valuable time where I could have done something to get better skills for myself and live my life what I wanted to do in life. So tell us a little bit more. What would you have done differently if the language was no barrier, if you didn't have any challenges with languages?
I will advise the new generation, that new mothers that take care of their kids, that don't forget about yourself.
Very good advice.
Don't focus 100% on only your family, because you are a person.
Yes.
And we forgot about ourselves in that moment, because little kids, and really after school, all these activities, all these challenging, running here, running there. And after they left for college, you realize that, oh, what I did with my life. I am alone. My husband keep moving in his life. My kids, they are going to college and they have their own life. And what about me?
Yes.
But in the moment you are with them,
they're
you
your
don't
whole
think.
world. Yes.
This is your duty. I don't criticize. There's nothing wrong with that. But as a mother, we put 100% of our efforts in them, and we forget about us as a person, as an individual, and that is wrong. I won't never do it again. I will balance.
you
50-50.
I think this is a very good advice, and looking back, I see I could have done things a little bit differently. I didn't, because my focus was my children. Even though I did pursue with my career, but I had to put it on the back burner, a lot of things that I wanted to do. And it's amazing that now two of my children, my second one graduated recently, and now they say, Mom, you don't have to do all that. No, I wanted to do it. No, you just kind of relax, take it easy. I can't, because I didn't live my dream.
Yeah.
I didn't let those important things in my life give them any opportunity to develop or took any time to foster them. I forgot about myself because I had to do everything else. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there. And I want to say that it's just sometimes not mothers. There are a lot of parents, single parents, sometimes fathers are taking care of their children. And it applies to them as well.
As well, yeah.
As a single parent, either it's a mother or a father, you have a responsibility of your children. So that is the super most important thing on your agenda, after your job or business, you want to take care of. You want to give your children more than what you have received. And
Yeah.
I hear that from many successful people. They want to give more to their children than they have received.
Yes, that is
And
true.
so that is, I think, so much human.
Yes, human being.
Be part of being human, we want to give more.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes to who we give to our children. So I want to take a little bit of version from here, based on where you have come from a thriving business and starting as a teenager, being an entrepreneur, to stay-home mom, and then finding yourself that, what do I do next? But you had contributed in so many lives, despite your challenges of the language barrier or whatever you felt, or you felt like you didn't had to live your life the way you would want to. I was really impressed with the story of this young woman who migrated from Zimbabwe and, crying sitting in a park. And you had helped her with your own money, not only to teach her driving, but also take your own money and buy a car for her so she can be independent. That is amazing. That is amazing. There's so, we live in a society, in today's modern society, that everyone, I don't mean that here in New Jersey or any particular state, anywhere you go, people have too much to do. That's a little time that they have that they can take for any stranger. There are a lot of good people doing good things, but it takes a lot of courage to take your own money for a stranger to give them, to buy a car, teach them so they can be independent. So even if you had inspired one woman, and I know her story, and she is inspiring many other women and telling the same story what you did for her. So in other words, you have inspired not just one, but many. And that's despite your barriers, that you feel that because I can't speak English well enough, so it doesn't stop you from doing good things. Tell me a little bit, what does come to your mind when you see many other women like we just spoke about, you see your story in them, that how you felt? What goes through your mind?
Okay, I was raised for parents that they create awareness in myself and help each other and treat others like I like to people treat me.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
I believe in values in life and moral and ethical. And I have a God, my Jesus, and I have my parents, my family, and I have my country right now, America. And we believe in my family that a village or a town save a life. And if you love others in the way you want they love yourself, that is the best you can do in life and can be.
Yes, and I have myself been inspired many times looking at when people in the times of disaster, especially the Red Cross volunteers or volunteers from many other organizations coming together for the single cause. And I could go on and on with the amazing stories that I have seen, but I personally believe, it's like my father used to teach us, is you respect people and acknowledge people for the values that they have, not where they come from or how they wear clothes, etc., etc. So that's something was instilled in me as a child, that you respect people. Human beings are human beings.
Yes.
And wherever you live, it becomes your home.
Exactly.
It is your home. And so being comfortable with your surroundings and doing the best you can do to inspire and contribute into your local communities is the first thing, comes to mind. Because anything else far, maybe in the time of disaster, maybe in the time of need, we can go out. But your life is spent most of the time in the same town where you live, in its surroundings. So what a good way to inspire and help people who need help in the ways that you can in your local communities. Like you said, you have the senior centers.
Yes.
What are other areas that you find now as your children have moved and you find that you would like to live your life to the fullest from the point where you are now? So what would be those? Is like some kind of volunteer work, some kind of teaching others, youngers? What would be your desire to do for the community?
For my community, I will continue to do my volunteering time with them, with the elders, what they need, with the little kids, what they need, and from my family, the supporting that they need from me as a mother behind them. For myself, I need a job to realize and overcome to do something for develop my degree, that I am a CPA or a Spanish teacher, and live my life in peace and be happy. Like Bob Marley said, we have to be happy all the time and enjoy and do with passion what we do in life.
Absolutely. Do with passion whatever we do. It's like at the end of the day, when you close your day, you have good feeling in your heart that it went well.
Yeah, I can go to sleep with a good sleeping, without any remorse.
Well, that's a very good thing. Is being happy, finding happiness in the little things.
Yes.
And in a modern society, we have so many distractions of the gadgets and things, and it's always, more, and there is never ending. The more you have, the more you need. Now, your life is all tied up in maintaining all that. There's no time away to yourself. What would you like to tell the viewers about being happy and following passion and creating a balance?
I believe that I caught my parents and my grandparents in this moment. I believe that a spiritual thing is more important than human being, flesh. That live your life as a simple. I know engagement with anything like Facebook or Twitter or my phone. I know. I live my life so simple with human being, one-to-one contact.
You don't mean that you put your status up and let
Nothing,
people know?
Nothing. I am so away from Facebook, from Twitter, from technology, and that I think is the best way to live our life, because I enjoy myself and I have time for myself as a spiritual being. That is the last step that I have to live in my life, because I believe we are a spiritual being that come to earth to live a little years, like 60 years, 70 years, to go back home as a spiritual being. I came here without nothing, no internet, no Facebook, no nothing. And I will go, the day I will go home without that, only with my spiritual being. And that is the way, simple life. Smell your flowers every day.
I'm sure there are a lot of people, they run their life. Facebook runs their lives.
Yeah, I know.
And, I am both ways. I find that, yes, technology gives a lot of advantage You know, we live in technical, you know, with the wonders. Everything's available to us. They do help us in many ways, but nothing is more lasting than a face-to-face interaction, or picking up the phone or calling someone and saying hello. In our generation, yes. I'm sure that you can put a status in the Facebook, and people who don't even know you, I'm not against Facebook, but yes, I prefer face-to-face more. Pick up the phone and call people that you care about, say hello, how are you, or send them an email directly, whichever works, than relying upon something. But that's the part of that is the changing state.
I know.
And, you know, and that's another area that I look at, that we have to embrace the new culture in order for us to be happy and adjust to. We have to adjust to what's happening around us, not just within inside us, how we feel. So there's a happy balance to create.
I know, but I'm so happy to be in my own simple life with 5 friends that I can count with them, and not 3,000 friends on Facebook.
I understand.
I'm so happy, and this is an opinion, you know.
That's quite all right. You're entitled to that. And if I ask you, what would you like to give to our viewers, if you could say something in a couple of sentences, what would you like to say your message to viewers? Could be any generation.
I would like to say to our president, congressmen, that create a little group of people that help immigrants to be in this new environment, and help them with the cultural shock, and help them with the barriers that they challenge in every day, and treat them as they treat everybody else.
Okay, good message. I'm sure someone listening out there would be thinking of, you know, what can be done to bring those cultural barriers addressed in a much bigger way, because they do persist.
Thank you so much.
Okay. I want to share some thoughts with my viewers, food for thought, that the strength doesn't come from what you could do. It comes from overcoming what you thought you couldn't do it. In Maya Angelou's words, I quote, "You can see in others what they don't see in themselves, and what the world doesn't see in them." We all have that possibility, that potential, and that promise of seeing beyond the seeming. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining us for this episode, and I hope you find the conversation with my guest Amparo Villa today to useful, so that you could take the best out of the person's good intention and help the people in need. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, I am Ritu Chopra.